What is the type of cookie most people say is their favorite? It's no surprise that the number one response is chocolate chip. It still leads the pack as voted the best cookie in the US according to a study conducted by Skidoo. Today I'm going to demonstrate how to bake simple chocolate chip cookies. By the end of this tutorial, you'll be ready to bake the nation's favorite cookie. The recipe that I am using is Ruth Wakefield's, the creator of the chocolate chip cookie. The ingredients needed are quite simple. All you need is butter, brown sugar, regular sugar, eggs, flour, baking powder, salt, and of course chocolate chips. The first two things I've already done are preheat the oven and line a baking sheet with parchment paper. To begin the recipe, the first thing you're going to do is add a cup of butter into a large bowl. Once you have it pretty mixed up, add in both sugars, a cup of brown sugar and then a cup of regular white sugar. And then mix it up until it's somewhat fluffy. Once it's pretty well mixed, you can add in the 2 eggs. The next thing you're going to do is add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Mix this pretty well for about a minute or so until it's pretty well combined. The next thing you're going to do is add in the flour, baking powder, and salt. It's about 2½ cups of flour, 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, and then just 1/4 a teaspoon of salt. Last but not least, you're going to add in the chocolate chips. It all depends on how much you want to add, but usually it's about 2 cups of chocolate chips, but sometimes people like to add more, which is fine. Once it's pretty well combined, what you're going to want to do for the best chocolate chip is to freeze them for about an hour, freeze the dough, and then, so it's just like a little bit easier to work with and it cooks better, but if you don't have time, that's okay. What I usually do is just take spoonfuls of the dough and just put them right on the parchment paper. It all depends on how big you want the chocolate chip cookies, but for me, usually about medium size works. Once you have all the dough spread out on the parchment paper, you can go ahead and bake them for about 12 to 14 minutes until they're about kind of golden brown on the edges. After they've cooked, let them cool on a wire rack. Last but not least, enjoy. These easy steps and ingredients make for simple cookies that everyone will love. There's no surprise as to why chocolate chip cookies are the favorite around the US. The simple steps to making the delicious cookies is clearly the reason why. Hopefully this tutorial helped and you are now ready to bake some amazing cookies. Enjoy!